Hey guys, Jermaine here with FFL Impact Agency. I just want to bring you a quick conversation with one of our agents that's killing it right now. Everybody, welcome to the podcast, Mr. Sam Gray. Say hi to everybody, Sam.
Howdy, everyone.
So what I want to do, Sam, real quick, is just talk to you a little bit about kind of your journey here at Family First Life and have you share a little bit about in-home and also phones because you're really good on the phone, you're really good in the home. But before we get to that point, can you just kind of give everybody a little bit of background, kind of what you did before Family First Life, how you found Family First Life, and kind of what you do on average on a monthly basis from a production standpoint?
Yeah, definitely. So my journey in insurance started before Family First Life. I actually did mainly P&C for a captive agency. I'm actually originally from Oregon, so born and raised there. So did that for about 3-4 years, and then was able to pick up Family First Life about midway through. So I didn't really start full-time at Family First Life until about 6 months ago when I made the transition from Oregon to Florida.
That's a big move.
Yeah, man, and it's been awesome, though. You know, when you're young, you can do that kind of thing. So I said, now's the best time, so decided to make the jump.
Awesome. So it's about 6 months ago, been going full-time with us. And how you like Florida, by the way?
Dude, love it, yeah. I'm in Jacksonville, so North Florida, and it's awesome. My grandma moved down from Long Island, so I get to see her a couple days a week, and it's awesome.
Good stuff. Awesome, man. So getting up and running, I know, new agents, and we could kind of jump into kind of how you run business and everything like that. A lot of new agents are, wondering, hey, what leads work and how should I talk to them and, what's the income potential like with this business. So if you could talk about that real quick, kind of what leads you're using, and then if you could kind of give us an idea of, what you say on the phone when you do call them, and some of the success that you're having with your clients.
Sure, yeah. So I'm primarily running new mortgage, old mortgage, retro. I'll fill in with internet leads, but mainly mortgage. So when I am on the phone with clients, I mean, the key is to get them to pick up, obviously, and then as soon as you get them on the phone, it's to I can run through the actual script real quick if you want.
Yeah, please do.
So I'll just do it with you, Jermaine. Ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jermaine, this is Sam, just getting back to you in regards to your home loan with Chase Bank. My office here in Jacksonville received that mortgage protection form that you filled out and mailed back into my office. I am the local field underwriter for the area, and my job's simple. It's just to get you the information that you requested, and I'll have you off the phone real quick here after I verify a couple of things.
Perfect.
And, Jermaine, your date of birth is 1/1/90.
Yeah, that's right.
And I see that you're married and your spouse's date of birth is 1/1/90 as well, correct?
Yes.
Great. And you're over on 123 Main Street?
Yes.
Perfect. And just to reiterate what the form had said, Jermaine, all the plans for the mortgage protection are non-medical, so you do not have to do a physical exam at all, which is nice. Usually just takes a few minutes for me to go over this with you and your wife to see what you qualify for and see what might work for you. I'm assuming, are you both working full-time?
Yeah, we both work 9 to 5.
9 to 5, okay. Well, great. Well, so then over the next couple of days, my office has me out in your area. I have a couple of time slots available on Friday at 6 or 7:15, and then on Saturday have a morning at 10:30. What would work best for you and your wife?
Saturday would be better.
Okay, well, I'll pencil you in for Saturday at 10:30. Jermaine, do you text on this phone number?
Yeah.
Great, okay. I'm going to text you on my cell. It's a 503 number, and just shoot me a text back so I know that you got it, and make sure you tell your wife that I'll be by at 10:30 on Saturday so don't startle her. And Jermaine, last thing, is your address pretty easy to locate on the GPS?
Yeah, Google Maps will pull it up.
Sweet. Awesome, man. Well, I will see you both then. Like I said, look out for my text, and then we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome.
Nice. I love that. And I like that text confirmation, too, so that way you know they got it, the appointment is set, and, you just show up. Now, what do you do if they text you back to cancel? How do you handle those? Does that happen often?
Yeah, they will. I mean, it happens every so often. I think you just do your best to try and reschedule it as quick as possible. Now, if they try to cancel, it's a difference between if they say, I want to reschedule versus I want to cancel. So if they want to reschedule, I'm more than happy to do that. If they want to cancel and I'm still going to be out their area, sometimes usually I'll just go there anyways. Because if you try and reschedule a cancellation, it's just not going to happen most of the time. So shoot your shot.
100%. No, and that's a key. There's been so many times when someone's texted me to cancel an appointment, I ignore it, I go, and I don't say anything, and I'm able to help them. And it's just, nobody, one of the things I heard was nobody wants to talk about dying today, right? So they'll try to delay as much as possible. But if you show up and you're there, it's like, well, you might as well take care of this. So
right.
Good. Any, for new agents, any phone objections that you would recommend they learn early on how to prevent? Because our thing is, we don't want to be on the back end of it trying to, rebut. We want to prevent that objection from coming up. Anything specific that you would recommend for a new agent?
Yeah, I mean, a main one is like scheduling. Like that's a big one. I mean, when you're dealing with forms that people send in, you're not going to have a ton of objections about like, oh, I didn't fill that out, or whatever it may be, or I'm not interested. Like they're going to know why you sent it in. So the toughest thing is just to nail them down with the time, so you don't play this constant phone tag over weeks. So what I do is kind of free up their day for them just before they even know exactly why you're asking them what their schedule at work is. Get all that information so that you know exactly when they're going to be home together. And so that when you say, would 6:15 work, like it's kind of weird for them to say, no, it doesn't, because they just basically told you that they're home after 6. So I think just being, not being reactive but being proactive with clients is key in that regards. That's my number one thing that I struggle with, is just getting people to book it within the next 2 days and not kicking the can down the road. So I'm trying to think of another objection that I get. If someone says they've already taken care of it because they filled out, some of them fill out multiple forms. People get like 20 mortgage protection forms in the mail. Yeah. So, you can just ask them, just so I can close your account out. Hey, what plan did you go with? What company did you go with? And if they have a tough time answering those questions, then I'd say, hey, I'm going to be out in your area anyways. Let me just swing by to make sure you're in the right plan, right spot. Just have that policy out. Because that is a courtesy to them, and if they're not, we're going to put them in a better spot. So
yeah, makes complete sense. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes they'll be saying that just to get you off the phone. So you drill in a little bit, and then you say, you know what, I'm going to be out there anyway. Let me at least show you some options to compare to make sure you've got the best plan. In my opinion, and to your point, if they can't rattle off America, Mutual of Omaha, or one of the companies we work with, like, if somebody really helped them, they should know that.
Right.
Because I drive that home when I close my deal. It's like, hey, you're with the best plan with America. And so if they don't remember that name when it's similar to America, then I got to come over and help you.
Yeah, someone that knew their job. Yep.
So let's talk about the in-home real quick, because a lot of agents have an apprehension. They're very nervous about getting out to the house. What am I going to say, and what if I mess up? So if you could kind of share a little bit of your process. And I think the most important part of the in-home is how you set up the appointment, because that determines whether you're going to have a sale or not. So talk about that a little bit, how you set up the appointment, and any tips that you can give that new agents should implement, coming out the gate.
Yeah, I mean, I've stolen all the information I do for an in-home off of a ton of different people. So, I mean, Steve Giordano, I always look for the number one producer, and then I'm like, what does he do? I'm just going to do what he does. So He always says keep it super simple. I'm a big fan of that. So when I get into home, I'm usually not talking about anything that doesn't pertain to either application questions or things of that nature. So to build rapport, I'm asking them about how long they've lived in the house. Is it a new purchase? Is it a refi? Just kind of having some small kind of chat like that. And then usually I go into just 2 small key points. At first I tell them who I am. I work with about 10, 15 different A-rated companies. Give them my business card and my state license, so we get that out of the way. And then I say there's 2 things we're going to do today. We're going to see what you can qualify for based on general health. And number 2, and more importantly, what fits your budget and what's comfortable in that regard. And then if we get both of those 2 things taken care of, what we're going to do is we're going to submit an application with the insurance carrier. And I'm going to do my job and do my best to get you approved with exactly what you're looking for. And then I get agreement after that. So I make sure that they are in agreement with that. That gets a lot of the objections out of the way. And then moving forward, you're going to follow the financial inventory. That's going to get you the rest of the way there. But the key thing with that is another thing that I've picked up along the way that's helped tremendously in close ratio, because I struggled this was recent. I mean, I struggled with the whole I want to think about it thing for like a month straight. And I was just like so annoyed because you just know you're leaving so much money on the table. And then someone had mentioned, I think it was Steve Giordano again, in our last agency call.
Yeah.
He had mentioned just creating urgency to avoid that, because that's the only reason. I mean, if people think they can get it any day of the week, whether they're 30 or whether they're 80 years old, why wouldn't they wait? So if we don't create urgency, we can definitely expect that. I want to think about it, and then you're dead in the water. So
yeah, 100%. What are some of the things you say to create urgency along the way?
So if it's a dynamic where it's a young, healthy couple, I'm creating urgency with the fact that there's a lot to lose if the husband passes away and then leaves his wife with like the 2 babies and she doesn't work. I mean, that's creating a lot of urgency and harping on that, asking the wife what that looks like. That works when they're both healthy, because you can't really make health a thing that like we need to be urgent about. When they're older, health is the easiest thing to create urgency about.
Yeah.
Because it's like, first of all, we don't even know if you can get approved. So focusing on getting a client approved is the key thing. Not really about the pricing, not really about the company. Just saying, hey, look, what we're doing today is to see what you can get approved for. That's my job. I'm not the quote guy. I'm not the sales guy. I'm the field underwriter. Yeah. And that also eases people, too, that you're not like trying to sell them something. You're trying to get them approved, and then we can make that decision later. So
makes sense. Those are 2 great ways to do it. And you know, from a follow-up standpoint, you mentioned something interesting that you do to follow up with your clients as far as, you know, be able to keep the business on the books. Some people send thank you cards. What do you send to your clients?
Yeah, this was something that Rob Richmond, I got from him. He was sending cookies to people, anyone over 2,000 AP. Send them a box of cookies. I use a local company in Jacksonville. There's companies all over the country, obviously, that do that. So, you know, it costs you $25-$30, but if you make a couple grand in the span of an hour, that's the least you can do. And it really just helps the client know that you just didn't come just to sell them and then just to leave. Like, you actually thought about this and you spent your money on buying them some cookies. So I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I started doing that too.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So we're at this is November of 2021. So we got, you know, roughly 2 months left in the year. Where will you finish the year as far as issue paid with FFL? And then next year, what's your goal for 2022?
Yeah, I mean, I had a little bit of a late start to the year, just going full-time in April. So hopefully I'll be at $250,000, $250,000 for personal production. Hopefully I'll be right around there. There's no reason next year couldn't do $400,000. I mean, everyone says it. If you're new, the recipe is a couple grand on leads a week once you can get up to that point, and just to be consistent, write 10K a week. And that's really the recipe. It's simple, but the key is consistency and doing that. And yeah.
Perfect, man. I think you could do it. Now, I want to back up track all the way to the beginning again, because I forgot to ask you this question. It just hit me. So I know when I got started in insurance, I had no idea that I would ever do insurance. Like, I never, you know, I went to school. In high school, I was really good at math, and I was good at accounting. And they're like, yeah, you should be an accountant. So I said, sure. And so I took AP accounting in high school, got A's in that, and then I went to school for accounting just because I was good at it. Never had any idea about being a life insurance broker. So when you were in high school, what is it that Sam wanted to be in high school?
No clue, man. It was whatever would come my way. I was just going to try it all. I mean, that's what I did. I didn't go to, I graduated high school, obviously. I didn't go to college. I went community college. But I grew up in a family of like entrepreneurs, so everyone kind of owned their own business. So I never had that career mindset. But then again, you know, I'm 27 now. It's taken me a solid 6-7 years to find, you know, exactly the right fit and everything. So couldn't give you a good answer, man, on that.
No worries. But I know for me, I am so appreciative every day that I found this career in this industry, you know, because of what it does for myself and for my family and what I could do for other people. How do you feel about being 27 and being in an industry where income is uncapped, potential's uncapped, coming from a family of entrepreneurs? You have the opportunity to literally build a business that can last for generations. How do you feel about that?
No, I think it's awesome. And I mean, a second ago, I was talking about creating urgency with clients. I mean, we got to also do that for ourselves, is create urgency. You know, like I was saying, I'm young and single, so there's not really, I don't have any mouths to feed and stuff. And I just was having this conversation with Jermaine the other day. It's just creating whatever kind of urgency I can, even if it's fake, just to like make the most of the opportunity and to move as fast as you can, because there's a lot of people that come into this this industry at FFL. Some people just kill it within like a span of a year. Some people, most, don't really do much with it. So it's on us to create that urgency for ourselves and be accountable to the team and to ourselves. So.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. And it's like, if you have the opportunity, there's, every now and then I'll see on social media this phrase that, hey, most people would kill to have your bad day, right? Mm-hmm. And so in our business, sometimes we'll have bad days, our bad days now is, man, I only made $2,000 today. It's terrible, right?
Yeah.
And somebody, that's what they make in a month. So, but you know what? We're all human beings, so we all get in our heads sometimes, and that's a part of our business. So let's finish with this. Like, when you have those moments, how do you overcome that moment and not make it a mountain?
Yeah, I mean, just the key. I mean, a big thing with that is just staying consistent. So if you have enough activity, you're not really worried about what's going on, like a chargeback or something like that. Like, there was days where, gosh, you have like let's say $3,000 in commissions. The next day you have a $500 chargeback. And that like ruins your day. It's like, why exactly would that ruin your day? But you have to play mental games with yourself just to stay focused. And I think having enough activity just to make it so that I don't even know exactly what's hitting my bank account. I don't really know what the chargebacks are. We're just like moving forward. And that's the best way, I think, to stay level in this business. Because I've known that for myself. If I don't have enough appointments, I'm stressed. If I have a ton of appointments, even if they don't go all super well, I feel good about myself because I definitely put in a full day's work and tried to help as many families as I could. So, and it works out, man. The numbers work out.
Yeah.
So
100%. And it's that focusing on the activity that you could control and your attitude. And then, like you said, the numbers will work out. So, well, man, I'm excited. Thanks for hopping on with us. Hope everybody got a lot out of this conversation with Sam Gray. If you want to connect with him, you could reach out to him on Facebook. It's Samuel Gray, right, on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so, let's run up the score, which is our motto here at the Impact Agency. All right, everybody.